coming to you live on this Saturday afternoon, July 8th, 2023. In this video, I'm gonna go over briefly talk about the web hosting and if you need it and what is it and how to decide what type of web hosting you should select if you need it. So three elements I want to discuss. First, what is web hosting? Every website on the internet has text files, pictures, programmings, codes. Those have to reside somewhere. That's why they reside on what's called a web server. And that web server belongs to a farm of web server computers, DNS, and other computers and software that creates some kind of network. That's what you call a web hosting. So basically, web hosting is a service that hosts your website and every website on the internet, and there are hundreds of them. So now, the second element is, do you need a web host or not? This is the question. You always need it, but the difference is sometimes you have to select your own web hosting, and that's done whenever if you're not using pre-hosted ready websites. For example, if you want to host your own, if you want to create your own website, your own theme, you need a self-hosted website. That's what you call them. So you get the web host and you code your own website themes, or you buy a pre-made theme, you upload it to the web house, and that's you select that. But if you're trying to get your website hosted on services like Squarespace, Wix, Weebly, those folks have their own websites, themes, and everything that you have to use. You cannot upload your own theme. So if your website will be on Squarespace, it has to be hosted on Squarespace, and you have to use the templates they provide you, or you can create or use a custom-made templates, but they have to be compatible with Squarespace. The same thing with Weebly and Wix, Duda, and other services that those are easier, but they tend to be more expensive from what I have seen. So if you're starting new and you don't want to deal with the web host by itself, domain by itself, the theme by itself, you can get one of those, but they're more expensive if you're starting new. And the integration, they have a lot of integration with services like e-commerce and others, but you have to go with what they have. And they have a lot of options, but not everything you may need. So you cannot come out and say, I want this to do that, because they may not have it, But they're easier to use, but you still have to learn the platform. You can't just get on Squarespace and find it so easy. You have to learn the platform, even though you may not be coding HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, but you still have to learn their back end and how to put the site together. But there are web developers specialized in Squarespace and Wix and Weebly who can help you. So, and the third question I want to answer is, whenever you need to get your own self-hosted website, what type of hosting account you should get? That depends. If you're starting new and you don't have a lot of traffic, and you're establishing your first site, my recommendation is to use a shared web hosting account, and that will be cheaper, and you have all the options you need in the beginning, you know. And some of those independent web hosting services, they have website builders, they have themes, you know, you can use. Some of those web hosting services are, I used one time iPage, InMotion hosting. I used the A2 hosting, and there are hundreds of them, you know, and they all provide you the basics that you need when you start. When you become more advanced in your business and your skills, you can upgrade to different hosting. And what I like about the independent web hosting, self-hosted websites, you can move them around. Let's say you're now building your website with iPage. Maybe in 1 year or 2 years, you want to move to another web hosting for certain reasons. You can move your website, and it's not that difficult, you know. But if you have your website built on Wix and Weebly and Squarespace and those platforms that have their own themes and platform, you cannot move it around. If you are a Squarespace user and you have your own website host, but you have to stay there. You cannot move it around. You cannot use their templates anywhere else. And same thing with Wix, Weebies, and Duda and others. You know, but you know, they have their own customers and their. But from what I have seen, if you're starting new, they're a bit expensive if you don't have the customers. You're not selling anything yet, you know. So you might want to try them, but my preference is self-hosted websites. You get a shared account, it's cheaper, and you have the options of installing WordPress, or they already have WordPress installed. Sometimes with a click of a button, you get WordPress installed. And if you don't want WordPress, you can upload HTML, CSS, and some JavaScript themes, you know. So that's if you want to create a simple website. If you have any questions, submit it in a comment and let me know if you have any. I'm starting new with this. I've been learning coding, HTML, CSS, and now I'm starting with JavaScript. And I have basic ideas about building websites, web hosting, domain names. So if you have any questions, just submit it in a comment and let me know what you like to know. This way you'll give me ideas about future videos that I will make, or I can answer, you know, your questions in the box below. Thank you. I don't know how to stop this thing. Let me see, because I started with it new. All right, do this. Are you sure you want to stop streaming and